Goodbye so soon, and isn't this a crime? We know by now that time knows how to fly. So it's goodbye so soon, we are fighting our separate ways. With thanks so short, I'll say so long and go so soon, goodbye.
I've been really excited for this for quite some time. If you were a kid around the 2000s era and were fortunate enough to be part of a family that was moderately well off, odds are you had one of these. Within the horde of wildly successful games and titles came just as entertaining apps and features found throughout the DS store. These included various ways to interact with friends and found a more social aspect among DS users. And if you're familiar with any of these, then odds are you remember the incredibly unique Flipnote Hatena, a social media service that allowed users to create Flipnote animations and share it among the platform. Users could give these animations stars, which are basically likes, and find their way to Flipnote fame. However, this would only last for a short period of time, as Flipnote Hatena would sadly close its servers on May 31st of 2013, leaving all of its unique creations and animations in the past, only celebrated by the memories that we made. However, luckily for us, the June Archive project has been established to recover all these lost Flipnotes and bring them back to our loving arms once again. What could go wrong? During the shutdown, the archive was created and saved about 400 Flipnotes immediately after the service closed. This team has been working day and night to search through these files and recover any lost projects that they could. They were able to bring some of our favorites back, but some things aren't quite right. For example, they try to recover this famous Flipnote of a classy frog singing. However, it was a little different this time around. Let's take a look.
Goodbye so soon, and isn't this a crime? We know by now that the time knows how to fly.
So before we start, I must confess, the original and restored Flipnote features the song Goodbye So Soon, but it's from Disney. And trust me, I know much better not to mess with the mouse. They'll copyright strike this to oblivion, so I edited a cover of the song in instead. So we can obviously see that something's off. The Flipnote seems to be corrupted, and it actually ends with something unsettling. A realistic drawing of a frog dead on the ground. This didn't happen in the original video, obviously. And it's pretty clear that something's wrong. We don't learn much from the video, however, so let's try moving on to the next one.
Take a look in the kitchen. You can't find them. You can't find them.
You can't find them.
You can't find them. Your
Friends.
Where is everyone?
So again, and as with all Flipnotes in this ARG, the beginning starts with a seemingly normal and popular Flipnote. However, this one is especially interesting as this file doesn't seem corrupted, but in fact has a consciousness of its own. Mario seems to notice that something's off and walks outside. The world is grim and red and almost seems apocalyptic. Suddenly, Mario dies, and if we pause, we see it's because of the time being 0, a way Mario can die in older Mario titles. However, this isn't a normal level. The time of any level hasn't reached 0, but instead the world itself. We see the date June 1st, 2013 appear in the sky, the day after the Flipnote Hatena service closed. Darkness begins to spread and consume everything. It seems like this horror series places every Flipnote in its own dimension. When created, they live here in perfect harmony with one another, but when the servers close, the dimension ceases to exist. If we look at the description for this video, we can see that this Flipnote wasn't corrupted, but instead updated. Since this archive consists of Flipnotes directly after the servers close, viewing them now shows the aftermath of a complete universal shutdown. Let's see what happens in the next video.
Where is everyone?
Oh, me no.
Where did they go?
They grew up. They moved on. And you, why do you still live in the past?
Get it. Get it. Get it. Alright, kid, here's your hot dog.
I'm not gonna lie, this one kinda got to me. Again, we get a sense of consciousness amongst the characters. There's an immediate realization that something's wrong, and we can see a sense of worry and emotion from the doodle. It seems as if the partner at the lemonade stand gets possessed and tells the realization that everyone's gone. All the kids grew up and consoles began to evolve. Slowly, the audience for Flipnote Hatena began to dwindle and inevitably shut down, leaving everything to be destroyed in the process. However, I found it really interesting that before seeing any fate to this character, he gets transformed into a different Flipnote. This one is of a man at a hot dog stand. This leads me to a theory. A game theory! Wait, that's not me. Like I said, it was mentioned that these Flipnotes were extracted very shortly after the service closed. There's no way to determine how time passes in this universe when compared to ours, so it's very possible that many things can occur only in a few seconds. It seems as due to the apocalypse of Flipnote, there's no sense of law or management in this universe. Vigilantes are forming, characters are being possessed, and it's all being watched over by some disfigured clock man in the sky. However, did the June Archive project save some of these Flipnotes? No, I mean literally save them. It makes sense that if these Flipnotes are being sent to their inevitable demise, them being archived actually could save them and takes them out of this apocalyptic world. The restoration process was too late in saving the Frog and Mario. That's why we see them die on the Flipnote. However, it seems we made it just in time to save the character at the lemonade stand. Although it does seem that when we saved him, he was in another Flipnote. If all of these exist in the same universe, then it seems logical that you can just simply walk over to another Flipnote, right? Well, I don't know. Let's move on to the next video and see what happens.
Hello, my name is Fuzz. Fuzz the cat, mascot for the June Archives. And from us here at the Archives to all of you out there, we'd like to say, whoa! We've received a lot of support for the Archive project. We're incredibly grateful. Please be aware that our restoration process takes time, and that we are working as hard as we can to get updates on archived files. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for supporting the Archive and Restoration project.
I'll be brief on this one, as it doesn't seem to actually take place in the Flipnote universe, but it does add a really weird layer of real-life elements to this story. This edition throws the makers of the ARG into the story itself as some anonymous character looking for something specific. Thinking about it, we actually don't know the real reason for the June Archive project. We just accept that it's some outlet for the story. But if you read many comments that the account leaves, they stick with the act that this is actually some large restoration project of old corrupted Flipnotes. There seems to be something else here going on behind the scenes. Let's see what's up next.
Aw man, now I have to add 100 stars. Dude, it's just a game. It's not like it's your mom. But Starface won't get me if I don't!
The stars are growing dim and dwindling in number. But why? Something's not right.
So we find this mysterious character entering the Flipnote as he, to put it bluntly, completely mutilates Kirby. He grabs Kirby by his head and rips out a star from his body. This actually shows something about the Flipnotes. There's a life force, as you will, that comes from the stars they get, and this actually makes sense in a real-life manner. Like I said, stars and Flipnotes are basically likes. There's different types of stars, with better ones being awarded to more popular Flipnotes. The livelihood and memorability of these Flipnotes came from the amount of stars that they garnered. However, with the service shutting down, there was no one able to award stars, and the life force in each Flipnote was dissipating. I would imagine that whoever this mysterious character is knows this, and out of desperation tried to steal another Flipnote's life. Although successful, he saw that every animation was losing life as well. The Flipnote ends with a clear confusion and frustration that this character, as well as every other Flipnote, must be in.
Help wanted. Welcome to McDoodles. Can I take your order? I'd like a way out. What?
Listen. I know it's hard to believe. And don't panic, but we're all trapped here. There's a dark void encircling us, and it's slowly closing in. And if we don't find a way out of here, we're all going to die.
Hey, what's up with the guy in the drive-thru? He says there's something blocking everybody in the city. No one can get in or out. What the heck? Hey, let me talk to that guy. Get your hands off my headset.
Hello? Is anyone out there? Help me.
This is the final Flipnote currently posted on the June Archive and Restoration Project, and it acts in a similar manner as the rest. The characters see something not right and realize if they don't escape soon, they'll die. More and more characters keep disappearing, and this eye figure is again moving throughout the Flipnote universe. The final frame consists of a collection of letters and numbers, however the R is missing. This doesn't seem to serve any purpose as of right now, but I'm assuming that it must in the future. However, I really want to bring attention to this eye. It appears in multiple Flipnotes, and it seems to appear at random locations. It's obviously searching for something, and... wait, I feel like we heard that somewhere before. There's clearly something more going on with the investigation of these Flipnotes from the June Archive project. Whatever it is hasn't been announced yet, but I have a feeling that this little furball might be hiding a little bit more than he puts on. Remember that big clock tower that's been hovering over the city? Well, if you look closer, his head's literally a cat. I don't want to put two and two together, but I'm sure this means something. Well, let's take a look at this clock again. What else can we see? If we look closer, we can actually see a time of 11 o'clock. It would make the most sense if this was at 11 p.m. on May 31st, as that would be the last hour the servers were alive. However, the date in the sky says June 1st. So is this wrong? Well, I don't think so. Whatever this conspicuous Catman wants, he wanted to find during the crash of the Flipnote universe. I feel as if the role of this clock is to actually rewind time, specifically an hour before the universe crashed. This is actually somewhat confirmed when one of the possessed characters say,
Why do you still live in the past?
And this theory actually makes a couple other things make sense. See, we previously saw characters noticing a lack of stars. However, during the final hour of Flipnote Studio, there would still have been stars coming in. If anything, more, since people would want one last look at the Flipnotes that they love. The stars, as well as every Flipnote, would cease to exist all at the same time, giving no animation any time to notice. But now, if we assume that the Flipnote universe went back in time, that doesn't mean ours did. The DS was simply the link between dimensions, and we would still have no Flipnotes available to send stars to. This would result in a sudden lack of stars in their universe and obviously cause a panic. It would be like if we suddenly didn't have water. That's a problem. We can actually see time slowly moving forward throughout the Flipnotes, with some even taking place at the same time. The McDonald's animation flashes the words 27 minutes later, and the lemonade stand Flipnote shows the cat clock at 11:27. However, one thing that these all have in common is a description that says updated, June 1st, 2013. This can either prove that something did happen, aka the addition of the cat clock, or that something will happen soon. Something that will happen once the clock strikes 12. Wait, did I say every Flipnote? I may have been lying. Every Flipnote has the June 1st timestamp except for one, that being the first with the frog. Instead, it says that this Flipnote was corrupted. What importance does this frog have and why? Well, I'd hate to say this, but I don't know. I also don't know the true intentions of the cat or why some entities have more power than others. This is because the series is still going on and I hope to bring new life to the channel with the post of this video. Let me know what theories you guys have about this one. Did I miss something that you may have found? Let me know in the comment section, and if you want to talk to me directly, try joining my Discord. You can find links to that as well as my other socials in my description. Thank you all so much, and I hope to see you all really soon.